Yo, what's up? It's Rob here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you a marketing plan for your first year running your clothing brand into the future. If you're running your brand for the first time, you're kind of struggling with marketing, you are not going to want to click off this video. I promise you won't be able to find another video like this online. What I want to talk to you about is how to build leverage into your brand from the very beginning. When you first start up your brand, you don't really have much to reach at. There's not many things that you can use to build leverage. You don't know Justin Bieber personally. You don't know these big celebrities personally, and you're trying to get celebrity and influencer endorsements. You don't have any customers, so it makes it hard to get customers. You don't have any followers, so it makes it hard to get followers. And I want to talk to you about the starting point here, going for things that you can actually reach, that are within your reach and within your grasp, so that you can start to build these different levels of leverage. Brands don't just start out, like Nike didn't just start out by endorsing Michael Jordan. They had to build to a certain point where they had enough cash and they had enough credibility that Michael Jordan would even be interested in their brand in the first place. And so it's not this thing where when you start your brand, all of a sudden the biggest people in the world are going to start endorsing you. It's a point that you need to build up to. And so I have a very great video laid out for you here where it's going to be the different steps that you can take from the very beginning when you don't have a lot to reach to slowly start building your brand into a massive giant, okay? And this is going to be very practical, and it's going to give you a very clear roadmap. The very first thing is you want to start with what you can reach, the things that you can grasp. And one of those things that pretty much everybody can use at the beginning is your own friends and family. You don't have a giant network of famous people, and you need social proof. You don't have people buying your brand yet. You don't have a ton of followers, but what you do likely have are some really close friends that want to support you and family members that want to support you. And this is going to be key at the very beginning for building social proof into your brand as credibility. Getting photos, getting pictures of people wearing your brand so that when people come across your brand, they can see that somebody's worn your brand. Somebody's wearing it, and that's going to go a huge way in building some sort of appearance and perception that your brand is already thriving. So work with your own friends, work with your own family, and give them some clothing. Go out and take pictures, go out and take videos that you can include on your website, that you can include on your social media, and that's going to be absolutely huge for you to build your brand up. The second thing from this place is another thing that you can leverage at the very beginning is your own time to build a great product and build a great brand. So your brand needs to have intrinsic value, meaning value that just stands on its own without social proof so that people actually want it. Like there's only so far that marketing can get your brand if your products aren't good on their own. And if you know the 4 P's of marketing, they teach this in like business school. The 4 P's of marketing are product, place, promotion, and price. Isn't it interesting that within the 4 P's of marketing, product is one of them? Like we think about marketing as social media and pushing your brand out there all the time, but actually product is one of the key components of your marketing. If your product isn't made for a particular audience and it isn't made good enough, then your marketing efforts are never going to work. So this is another one of those things where when you first start out, you don't have a ton to reach at. This is something that you can leverage your own time, your own effort to build the best product possible. And I'm not just talking about the product either here. I'm also talking about your website quality, your photography, spending as much time on the packaging, on the littlest details of your brand so that when people see it, it really, really resonates with them, even without seeing other people wearing it, even without your flashy marketing. The product and the brand stand on their own. And that's something that you can leverage from the very beginning. And I'd honestly say it's something that you need to leverage from the very beginning. Now, before we get into all the juicy stuff here that's really going to help your brand like crazy, Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd, and if you struggle with designs, I seriously recommend that you try them out. You post a project on Design Crowd. Amazing designers from all over the world are going to compete for your project. You choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. I've sold thousands of these designs on my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code APPAREL when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, another thing that you can reach at from the very beginning that will really help get your brand off the ground is nowadays we have this opportunity on social media to get reach unlike anything that we've ever had before. And we can leverage this as long as we're able to attack social media right and well and in an effective way. Social media is almost like a gun. If you know how to shoot a gun, it can be very effective. If you don't know how to shoot a gun and you've got terrible aim and you don't know what you're doing, it's pretty bad and it doesn't do anything. And so a lot of people use social media and they're like, there's no opportunity on here, it's not working. And it's because they're not using social media effectively and they're not using it well. That's a harsh truth, but it's true. There's a ton of social media online, but you need to be creative, you need to be clever, you need to be effective with your strategies. And so another thing that you can leverage to start building your brand up from the very bottom is a really great attack on social media. And some little tips that I have for you from the very beginning is be authentic, because people love authenticity, they trust authenticity, and that will give you some credibility. If there's any incongruence with how you're coming across and it seems like you're just putting something on and it's not true to the brand, people will feel that and it'll just look weird and they won't want to support you. So the fact that you can start up a brand and be really yourself, tell the honest story of why you got started, of the movement that you're trying to create, and do it from a true place that rings true to you, it will also ring true to your audience and people will trust you and they'll want to support you more. You also really need to be consistent, because just one post every couple months or whatever isn't going to build an audience for you. And basically what we're trying to do with these three main things that you can reach when you first start up: building a great product, using your own network as social proof, posting on social media to build a bit of an audience. What you're hopefully doing is you're grinding enough to build some leverage into your brand to get to this next point. Hopefully through doing these things, through using your own network, through building a great product, and through using social media marketing well, you can get your first 1,000 followers. You can get your first 100 customers. You can get your first photos and videos from customers wearing your brand. And now your brand is at a whole new place than when you first started and you had none of that. And this is this first step of just grinding your way out of this scarcity hole where everything just feeds on itself. You don't have any customers because you don't have any customers. You can't get any followers because you don't have any followers. And you're just grinding your way out of that through what you can reach and what you can grasp. And this is a grind phase. So it's going to be really, really hard. It's always the hardest phase of your brand. But now let's say you've got over 1,000 followers now. You've got over 100 customers. You've got photos and videos of customers wearing your brand, and you're showing that on your site. You're showing that on social media. Well, now you've got a whole new perception here. You got a whole new look to your brand. And what you can do at this point is you can start reaching out to bigger celebrities and bigger influencers. You send them free clothing, and hopefully they're willing to support you, because now when they check out your brand to see who's this brand offering to send me some clothing, they'll say, oh yeah, this brand actually looks sick. It's got intrinsic value. I can see it looks like a brand that I'd want to wear. Not only that, clearly some people are supporting it and it's gaining some momentum. This allows the influencers and celebrities to not have to stick their neck out as much to support your brand. There's a little bit of social proof there. There's a little bit of coolness already associated with their brand, with your brand, and it just allows them to support your brand a whole lot easier. And now once you get some pictures or videos of celebrities and influencers wearing your brand, especially celebrities and influencers that are aligned with your brand concept, that your target audience that you're trying to sell to would look up to and know, like they know who these celebrities and influencers are, even if they're micro influencers, maybe only have 50,000 or 100,000 followers online, your audience looks up to those people and knows who they are and thinks that they're cool. The whole game changes for your brand. This is where my brand got out of like a couple $1,000s a month in sales to like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month in sales, is when we got these celebrities that were pretty big in the rural Canada space that everybody was looking up to in TV shows, rappers, musicians, country artists, different people supporting our brand. And we put those on our website. We were showing that on our social media. And the whole vibe of the brand changes. The brand gains this sense that they're legit. this is a really cool brand that people are clearly supporting, and the social value just raises through the roof at this point. And this is a major moment for your brand, where things will slowly start to snowball forward for you, where the word of mouth will kick in. People who are buying from you will tell their friends about it. People are talking about it, and your brand starts to become remarkable. Remarkability literally means people want to make remarks about it to their friends. And so when your brand is remarkable, people will want to make remarks about it. And that's how word of mouth kicks in and really snowballs for you. And from this place, you can now leverage these photos and videos of celebrities and influencers wearing your brand, the intrinsic value that you built into your brand from the beginning, the photos, the videos, your content strategy on social media. You can leverage all of this to start running some effective ads on Facebook ads and TikTok ads, because now when people check out your brand from the ads, they're going to see your social media has a bit of a following. You've got some customers wearing your brand. Not only do you have some customers wearing your brand, you've also got some influencers that they know and look up to, some celebrities that they know and look up to wearing your brand. And this builds massive trust. It builds massive trust. And not only does it build a lot of trust, it just makes your brand look a whole lot sicker. Like, let's just put it plain and simple. It makes your brand look cooler. It makes your brand stand out from all the other brands that are starting up out there. And you've hit a whole new level. This is where my brand really reached its peak and where it was thriving like absolute nuts. We had like 24 celebrities and influencers that everybody knew wearing our brand in Canada here. The orders were rolling in just so effortlessly, just like nothing, because we created this low amount of friction that was in our brand. There was no more friction. People just wanted it because the value was so clear. We clearly spent the years building all of that. What I really want you to understand here is this concept of leverage. You can't just go straight from starting your brand to becoming a $20 million brand overnight that people are just trusting with ease. It takes steps to get to that point. And there's a really great documentary, I suggest you watch it if you haven't already, called Air. It's the documentary about how Nike signed Michael Jordan and the risk that they took in doing that and how all of that shaped up. And it's just a really great movie to show how they built leverage, how Nike built leverage by endorsing one of the greatest athletes of all time and trying to bid for that while other brands were as well. So I believe in you. Start with what you can reach and keep reaching as far as you can from there until you build a brand into something that's crushing. And I know you'll do it, and I hope you will, and I hope you enjoyed. If you're starting your own brand or you're already running one, you've got to check out the Apparel Success Mastermind. It's a monthly subscription where you get direct access to me, access to exclusive live streams that we do every single month. There's a community of other brand owners in there, and all of my courses are in there. You can learn more at apparelsuccessmastermind.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.